And not only that, I think you first of all got to have self-respect for yourself and self-awareness in the sense of, would you talk to yourself like that? Would you talk to your kids like that? And, being in relationships that I have made mistakes with and I failed at, and I look back and I realized, gosh, I took time to really be self-aware of things that I was told that I had issues with.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest things was, you're selfish. It's always about you. It's never about anybody else. And I reflected on that and I
Mm-hmm.
took that into consideration because, it's interesting for those of you that are listening. If you truly want to know what kind of person you are, ask your best friend and ask them to be honest with you. Like, who do you see? What kind of person do you see me as? Do you see me as a kind, loving, charismatic, kind person? Or is it something else? Am I constantly reaching out to somebody for something and not reciprocating back? Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. And if you're asking someone those questions, you are taking the first steps of becoming more self aware. But the important thing is then to listen and then
Oh,
not get defensive when they're telling you something that they have observed or felt or experienced about you. I think of situations with family and friends, and you're attempting to talk about things, being like, do you realize that when something like this comes up, like you often tend to blah, 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 whatever it might be.
yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, perhaps they are lacking some self awareness instead of being
Oh,
like,
that's good.
wow,
That's good.
I've never had anyone tell me that. Thank you. I
Yeah.
guess I didn't notice that. And pausing and really like reflecting and taking a moment and doing something with it instead of shooting it back out and being like, no, that's not me.
Right.
Like kind of holding space for it and being like, okay.
Yeah, and that part right there though, Amber, comes with self-growth.
Yeah.
You should be able to have someone tell you your areas that you need to improve on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you truly cannot, you're never going to be good at your job.